What I want to ask you, Dad, is I started going a little bit down the Candace Owens rabbit hole. I'm not saying everything she was saying was way off, but let him rest in peace for a few weeks, a few months, and then maybe we can start speculating. I just felt like it wasn't respectful, but that's my opinion. How do you feel?
Well, that's a good observation on your part. And I will tell you this. Another thing she said, I have to point this out, and she was on a podcast with Tucker Carlson, and this whole defamation suit that was filed against her by Macron and his wife. She said to Tucker, I will never try to dismiss the suit. She said, I want the discovery. I want all the information. I want it all to come out. And then I go and look it up. She asked to dismiss the suit.
A woman of faith just trying to go after this person and be like, you were born a man. You were like, you can have whatever feeling you want to have about someone, but what is the motivation? Why are you going so hard after this person? Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Girl Bye with Mick and not Amanda today. As you can see, I have my dad here with me, so Girl Bye with Mick and Mike today. Amanda is sad that she can't be here, but she's going through a tough time right now with Jax. He is getting a colonoscopy and an endoscopy, which I had a few years ago when I got diagnosed with Crohn's. Obviously, it's a lot tougher for him with his situation, so she's been struggling with that with him. His procedure is on Tuesday. Please pray for him. It's just in a few days, so pray for him. We would really appreciate all your guys' support. You guys have been so great with everything going on with him. So she's very sad she can't be here, but I have my dad here to take her place. We can't replace her, but just for today. Right, yeah. Dad?
I'm the second string today, and I'm not used to sitting in this chair. I've never sat in this chair before. It feels a little bit different. But yeah, I feel really bad for Amanda, my daughter, and my grandson, because you have to take certain medication.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do that at all. He doesn't deviate from his diet, so she's having a tough time, and he's been having these stomach issues, so hopefully it's going to work out.
Similar. She's not sure. She's wondering if maybe because I have Crohn's that maybe he does, which I'm not thinking that it's that, but I figured with, a child, they would have a different procedure, but he still has to wean off of his favorite foods, which he's not used to. He wants a bean and cheese burrito. He wants a bean and cheese burrito. He wants to eat, that's like his normal routine. So the last few days have been tough, and the few days leading up to it are going to be even tougher. So again, just please pray for them.
Please do.
We appreciate all of that. But I have my dad here today, so that's exciting. We are going to...
Is it exciting, really?
It's exciting for the people, I think they love it. So
exciting for the people, but not for you.
That's the peanut gallery there, by the way.
The cam missioner, which we are now going to call her.
Actually, you should be sitting in this chair, not me.
No, you do better than I do.
Soon enough. We're going to keep the people waiting a little bit longer on that one. But next
Can
week,
I ask you, you think you're going to get her before I get her? I've been doing this for 5 years.
I don't have a doubt.
And I haven't been able to get her.
I have zero doubt that we're going to get her first, Dad.
All right. Well.
It's for the girls, she loves us.
Of course.
She's going to do it just because she's waited so long to go on yours. And then I think after we break, break the seal, then she'll be on yours.
Well, let me tell you, your husband is sitting in that chair observing us. I'm going to be sitting right there when she's here.
She's on.
I want to hear what she has to say.
Oh, me too.
Maybe I don't. Maybe I should get it out. Yeah, but then I'll be curious to watch it afterwards. But we'll see.
It'll be a good one. All right, Dad. So next week we are going to UVU, Utah Valley University in Utah. We are going there for Hope for America. Our church Harvest is partnering up with a lot of churches in Utah, and they're doing a crusade event similar to the ones that Harvest and Greg have been doing for over 50 years here in California. A little bit smaller scale, right? It's about 8,000 people that
well,
can
we
fill.
don't know. I mean, 8,000 people in the arena.
Auditorium. They're going to have
but there's
overflow,
going to be
right?
There's going to be overflow in different auditoriums around town.
And I know BYU is hosting it.
Right. And don't forget, we're doing a live from there on both YouTube, Rumble, and all of our social media platforms. So be sure to tune in. The information, we'll be posting it during this week, and we want to bring everybody into this amazing worship night that we'll have there. We've been attending this for years. I mean, Greg's been doing this for over 30 some odd years. And believe me, so many people who come to the Lord that night.
Yeah. And this is something that usually takes them years to plan, and they've managed to pull it off in 6 weeks, which is crazy. It just all started coming together. Utah pastors were reaching out and saying, we really need you guys to come now. And they've been able to do it, which is obviously God and an amazing thing. So we're very excited. Looking forward to it. Also have, the feeling of, okay, we're going to a dark place where Charlie Kirk lost his life on September 10th, I believe. Yeah. And just a lot of mixed emotions and feelings, but we're trying to go there and bring light, right? What I want to ask you, Dad, is I have not watched so much of it lately because after Charlie Kirk's assassination, I started going a little bit down the Candace Owens rabbit hole, and I had to kind of snap myself out of it because it was just a little too much, and I also thought the timing was just poor. I'm not saying everything she was saying was way off, but I just felt that let the guy, let him let him rest in peace for a few weeks, a few months, and then maybe we can start speculating and bring all this out. It was just I just felt like it wasn't respectful, but that's my opinion. How do you feel? What do you think about everything she's been saying, and what do you think about the timing of all of that?
Well, that's a good observation on your part. And I will tell you this, as you know, we've met Candace. We were at an event with her with Patrick Bet-David on election night. And we took photos with her and spoke to her a little bit. And I have a lot of respect for what she's accomplished. She's very intelligent, very bright woman. I have a lot of respect for the platform that she's built. I know how difficult it is to grow on YouTube. It's not everybody can do that. So she's accomplished a lot. With respect to her feelings on the whole Charlie Kirk thing, I tend to agree with you. I don't know why she's so angry.
Yeah.
She comes off angry, and not only with Charlie Kirk, with everybody.
With everyone, yeah.
So she's angry with Macron, the French president, or whatever he's called, and his wife.
And his wife, yeah.
I seen her on one podcast saying, I want to go to war with everybody. And I don't understand that. Now, I want to be clear. With her take on Charlie Kirk, I'm willing to listen. I don't believe everything the government has to say all the time.
Yeah.
I think it's okay for us to speculate that something else might have happened there that we're unaware of yet. And, we know about Epstein, we know about JFK. Do we ever get the truth from the government? Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think she's, one thing that concerns me though, if this guy, Tyler, whatever his last name, Richardson Robinson,
yeah.
If he is the real shooter, she's giving a lot of ammunition to the defense.
Yeah.
She's bringing out things that the defense can use at trial. Now, again, maybe he's the guilty one. Maybe there is somebody else. Maybe there is some other conspiracy here. But I think she's taken this to an extent that I don't really agree with.
Yeah. I think it's just the approach. For me, I was very much oh my gosh, and watching it days after, right? And I think that feelings and emotions were so heightened days after that I was just grabbing onto things, and I think it kind of seemed like that's what she was doing, and so many people were looking to her because they weren't really getting answers from anywhere else. So she was gaining so much traction. She did it immediately, and I think something similar to what Mom has said is when it's something going on, you have to act on it immediately, because then it kind of becomes oh, well, 700 people have already talked about it. We don't care anymore. But also I was saying out of respect for him and his family, it was just too much. It's the guy just died 2 days ago. Can we let him just rest in peace? Can we just talk about the good things? Can we celebrate his life? Can we let people, just, I don't know. I just felt it was so much so soon, and it kind of turned me off, as opposed to where she might have waited a few weeks and said, okay, guys, now I'm starting to feel concerned. It just seemed too much. And again, listening to it, I just didn't feel like it was coming from the most genuine place. And also that really turned me off. It was like, why? Exactly. Why are you so angry? It's like, I get you're angry if this is truly how she feels. I get that you're angry that your friend has been killed. I get that, I don't really know too much about their relationship. I know people were saying they haven't talked for years or they weren't that close, but they used to be super close. I didn't really do like any kind of deep dive on that. And I didn't even know who she was until last year when we went to the event in Florida for the election. Mom and Jules were like, oh my gosh, Candace Owens here. This is so cool. Like, they loved her. And I'm like, who the heck is Candace Owens? Like, admittedly and kind of embarrassingly so, I have stayed out of politics, haven't really known anything that's been going on until I would say the last 6 months. I started to say, like, Mikkel, okay, you're going to be 40. You need to know what's going on in the world. And you've been telling me this for years. But I didn't know who she was. And Mom and Jules were raving about her. And then I just remember we're like, can we take a picture with you? And she was just kind of standoffish and a little like snooty. And, I know we're no one, but everyone knew who you were there. And we were in like the VIP section. It's not like we were just, just like stragglers coming up to her. But even so, even if we were, like you're in such a light in the world, you have a voice. Why would you want to show people that, I don't know, that side of you? Or why would you want to not be gracious and just taking a photo? So I was just like, okay, whatever, like, no big deal. But after that, I wasn't like, oh, Candace Owens, like, I want to go look her up, because she kind of just seemed... Well,
you weren't the only one that said that. Yeah. That night, a few people that I was schmoozing with, said the same thing. What's up with that woman? I said, hey, I don't know. I didn't really take it to heart. But, I think there's a lot of validity to what you've said. She's come out so strong, and a lot of this, a lot of people feel the same way that you do. Because I do follow this on social media. And one of the things that troubled me a little bit, and it wasn't only due to her, but she did have a lot to do with it. A lot of people are turning on Erika.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's too soon for that too. Everybody mourns differently.
Yeah.
Now, people are dissecting everything she did, the way she rubbed her eyes with her tissue. There was no teardrop there. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
She was married. She was happily married. She's got children. She lost her husband.
I know. It's a lot.
She was with a guy that was a fighter. So if she comes out and says, I'm not going to let his legacy die, I'm going to go. But now everybody's analyzing and criticizing everything about her. To me, it's a lot too soon for that, too.
Well, Mom and I talked about that the other night, because I at first was, when I saw her do that interview, like days after he died, I was just like that, a real person can't do that. Like, this is insane. But again, she seems to be so anointed. Like, she just has her faith is on a whole nother level. Her and Charlie, I feel, were on a whole nother level that maybe some people can't understand. And they don't act, she doesn't act the way that we all were like, oh, if my husband died, you'd have to like drag me out of bed. You'd have to pull me off the floor. Like, I'd be crying. You don't know, though. You don't know how you would be. And honestly, it's a testament to her faith and how she's like, she knows where he is. And I'm sure in her quiet moments when no one's around, like, that's when she probably allows herself to fully feel those things, because she is in the public eye.
But it's like what your friend said when you said to your friend, we're going to Utah and we're going to be a part of the Harvest Crusade. And you're like, I do have a little bit of fear. And your friend was like, why? Why do you have fear? You're afraid to die? Why are you afraid to die? You know where you're going. And you're just like,
I was
wow.
Like, what the heck? I was
but we're not in a hurry to get there. That's
no,
the whole thing.
but it's just
that kind of faith.
It is. It's that kind of faith. And it's almost, people don't understand it, because not a lot of people have that kind of faith. We can go to church every Sunday, but...
Well, you hit it right, because in the interview she just did with, from Fox...
Jesse Waters.
Jesse Waters.
She said, it's at night when I really feel this, when I'm alone in bed.
When I'm alone, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody mourns differently. I would think that if, God forbid, something would happen to me tomorrow, my wife wouldn't be all over social media the next day, although I don't know, she might be dancing a jig. Right?
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, I'm only joking.
I'm not over all social media, even if you're still alive here.
That's correct.
My love, so stop being ridiculous.
That's correct. But you know what I'm saying. I mean, people mourn differently. I have a very dear friend who lost a very close loved one, And immediately he's all over social media.
Yeah.
Immediately. But that's
Sometimes
his way of
that's
mourning.
how they cope and how they mourn.
It's
Yeah.
his way of mourning.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, maybe he wants to share his feelings
Yeah.
with people, but I know that he loved that person dearly. So,
Yeah.
you know, look.
And it might not make sense.
Yeah, and
to
I
you.
think that she is responsible in a way because by Erika not questioning all the things that she's questioning, people are saying, well, if his wife isn't feeling this way, and that's his wife who was
Yeah.
with him every day, why are you feeling this
Yeah.
way? You know, so it just doesn't sit right.
Yeah.
And like I said, she just seems so angry
I
all
haven't
the
even
time.
thought of it like that. Because I almost, if I would be his wife, I'd be like, why are you so concerned with like my husband and this whole thing? That's also a weird thing. That
It
I would be
is.
like,
It's
I'd be
so
like,
weird.
excuse me, like, can you pipe down over there? Like, was something going on that I didn't know? I don't know, just like something weird. Like, what kind of relationship did you have? And that's why I think it's not even that. I think it's her just either trying to build some kind of a platform for herself on the heels of this. Not to say that she never cared about Charlie, not to say that they were never close, like you see that they were, but this was years ago. There's nothing really like more recent showing that. But it just doesn't, I don't know. There's too much anger behind it to explain. It's like, and everything's a conspiracy. It's
But
like,
imagine caring about somebody and loving somebody so much that they meant so much to you that you immediately come at it in an aggressive, angry, combative way. And that's how she came at it. It's not like she's saying, oh my God, my dear friend Charlie Kirk that I love and Erika that I love. Okay, don't you think about for 1 minute, people. I'm coming after you, but you know what? I'm going to let my good friend Erika grieve. I'm going to let Charlie Kirk be buried. I am going to pray for him. But she came out like 12 seconds after he was shot and she was, here we go. Let's do this. I'm coming after you. Let's fight. He's wrong. I'm like, that is not a gentle spirit. That's not a woman of God.
And let me tell you this too. Think about it this way. She made a statement, and all of this is recorded on social media. Charlie knew I would be the only one fighting for him.
Oh, okay.
Now, what are you saying about his wife, Erika?
yeah.
In other words,
And his best friend.
yeah. Well, forget his best friends because she's in a way implicated his best friends in
The
this
best
plot.
friend thing is weird to me, though. I have to admit that whole. If you go back and watch, the best friend thing is weird.
It is
It is
weird.
weird.
It is
Why
weird.
did he walk? Like the way he reacted in the second that it happened is very weird. And again, like I'm not a conspiracy person. When everybody was going down the conspiracy rabbit holes of COVID and all this stuff, and like the chemtrails and the things in the sky, like I'm just like, you guys, I can't. I have no time for that. Like maybe I'm dumb for not caring or looking into
You're
it,
not.
but I just have no. I have no time for that. So. The conspiracies are not for me, but there are some weird
are
things.
suspicious
There are
things,
some
no doubt.
suspicious things that you're like, wait, like if that was my best friend and they just got shot, would I have reacted that way? Like that doesn't seem normal. But also,
No.
I don't know what normal is when that stuff happens because by the grace of God, that stuff hasn't really happened to me. So I don't know, but like
I know,
it is
but-
weird.
But here's the and I agree with you, and that's why I said we don't have all the answers, and who knows
Yeah.
if there's a cover up at this point. But the way she's approached it
Yeah.
is
I
like
think that's the problem.
she's the only one doing it. Erika doesn't care, obviously,
Yes,
because Erika
she's the
said
savior of,
on
like, the
Jesse
whole
Walters,
situation.
I agree. On Jesse
Waters.
Waters, I agree with the investigation so far. She
Mm-hmm.
said that. Now, also, you know, I don't know if you know this, Mick, but she's in a way implicated Trump. In a way, because she does bring in the fact that this was a plot by the Israelis, I should
Right.
say,
Ridiculous.
Netanyahu, because she doesn't like
Right.
him. You know, and she's saying this is a plot, and she's implicating other people. And by Erika not believing that, she's almost implicating
Yeah.
Erika. You know, sometimes by not saying something, you're saying something. You're making a statement. So, but you know, forget all of that a minute. And I understand it. That's fine. You can put it out there. You know, but it's just the anger that she keeps showing. And I have to say something else about her that I disagree with. I heard her say in a podcast, it was a short, that she's converted from Protestantism or Christianity, evangelical Christianity, to Catholicism. Her husband's Catholic. Okay, nothing wrong with that. We all believe Jesus Christ is our Savior. We all know, as Catholics and Christians, he's the only way to get to heaven. No problem with that. But she then made a statement and said that there are so many divisions in Christianity, and I think what she meant is denominations,
Yeah.
that the more denominations or divisions you have, the more chance there is for evil to come in. So in a way, she's calling Protestants evil. And she said that. Now she can go back and defend and say, I didn't mean it that way. Okay, I'll
Just
accept that.
Protestants or every other denomination besides Catholicism?
Well, remember when Protestantism came, they broke away from the Catholic Church,
Yeah.
right?
They did,
broke
yes, they broke away.
And it's Christianity as we know it and as we practice. But what she said is that she's making it evil. She said this. I'm not like reading into it. I'm saying what she said.
Yeah.
She said the more divisions, meaning denominations, you have, because you have Methodists, you have all the different denominations, the more chance you have for evil to set in. So, okay, you want to be Catholic, it's fine. But why are you now saying that, Protestants
Okay, but as if there's
possibly
no evil conspiracy theories in the Catholic churches.
course.
I mean, my God, there's more than anything. She wants to talk about children. She wants to talk about pedophilia. She wants to talk about all those
I know,
things.
but
I mean, I don't want to talk about that, but Candace, you have to like put everything on the forefront. If you're going to call out one, you got to call out the other.
But it's not even that. Why say that at all?
Because
Why
she's
say it at all?
because
Why do you-
she's
because you've left
provocative. She's
I know,
provocative.
but because you've left something and you don't agree with it, why do you have to place it as something wrong or evil now? My point in all of this is her anger and her attitude, like you said, Mick, in approaching everything. Everything is evil. Another thing she said, I have to point this out, and if she's listening, challenge me, maybe not. She was on a podcast with Tucker Carlson, and this whole defamation suit that was filed against her by Macron and his wife, she said to Tucker, I will never try to dismiss the suit. Never. She said, I want the discovery. I want all the information. I want it all to come out. And then I go and look it up. She asked to dismiss the suit. I have it.
But
It's in
also,
black
like,
and white. So it was an
Just
absolute
rewind,
falsehood.
like a woman of faith, just trying to go after this person and be like, you were born a man. You were like, to
Why?
just
Like, why?
Who cares?
humiliate and discriminate. It's
Yes,
like, why
yes.
is that your
Plight.
job? Why is that
Exactly.
your role? Did God like come to you and say, go after this woman and expose her to the world? Like, you can have whatever feeling you want to have
But
about
what's the
someone,
motivation?
but what is the motivation? Why are you going so hard after this person that whether they were a man when they were born and became a woman, they're someone's wife now. They're in the public eye. Like, let God or let anyone. It's not your job
To
to
be
like
the judgment, to
and
be the
it's
judge.
so like it's so heavy. Like, she's so like, once she gets her mindset on something, she's like, attack. And it's like, dude, relax. Like, why are you so angry and why are you going after these people? And I feel like some of that motivation is like, all eyes on me, Candace Owens. Like, I've got I
Yes.
figure out the truth of everything. I know, and it's
Me,
almost
me,
like,
me,
what role are
me.
you trying to play? Like, that is not the role of a godly woman. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I'm
And
going to
it's-
tell you what I think.
and I'm honestly like, what is her husband? Is her husband like, babe, like, chill out, like, you're too much, or
Obviously
is he
not.
just like, keep going, babe, I got you, like, we're
Obviously
good.
not. Well, listen, it came out, and she was very quick to get behind this, which I agree with. Hey, it's a big step. That she was the most viewed podcast in the world recently, #1 podcast in the world. Great, you should be talking about that, but maybe that's the motivation. I don't know.
Of
I'm just
course.
throwing it out
Of
there.
course.
Maybe I don't know.
She's
I don't know what
she's
I'm
trying
motivated.
to be the female Andrew Tate, provocative, throw everything out there, see what sticks. Let me grow my. I'm sorry, this woman started out as, to me, like a woman of the people. Find out the truth. Let's talk about the facts and reality versus like, okay, now let me just be provocative. Let me just say whatever I want to say. Let me just point. And it's not just that. Like, her spirit is not gentle. It's not kind. It's not a woman of God. It's not a pious woman. It's not Proverbs 31 woman. It's like, I'm at war with all of you. I'm coming
I
at
wanna be
all
at
of
war.
you. I want to go at war with you. I'm like, what? This is not the Candace Owens that I bought into, that I thought, I love this girl. I love this woman. She speaks for truth, but she comes with kindness and gentleness and humility and a heart for God and the people. Like, wow. like what this woman has just gone from A to Z in 27 seconds.
Yeah, she's gonna have to Trump too. She said now that she's ashamed and embarrassed to have
Supported him.
encourage people to support.
Because she
him.
was there the night
Yeah,
of the,
exactly.
you know.
Which that's okay.
It's
If you
okay.
don't like what
You're
Trump's
right.
doing,
It's
that's
okay.
fine. You're entitled.
That's
to that.
America.
If you think Trump has been a disappointment, that's fine. You're allowed to express that. It's okay. A lot of people are saying this and that but that's politics. Everybody's going to talk and have their opinions, and their opinions change. It doesn't matter. But it's just her entire approach. It's angry. It's I got you.
Bitter.
It's bitter. It's resentful, and I don't know why. She's in a pretty good place.
I mean, maybe
Pretty good
this
place.
is her. Look, we're talking about her.
It is, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
maybe this is
Absolutely.
her
Her
angle.
goal
She's
was
like,
to get everybody talking about
People are going to
her.
be talking about me,
Exactly,
and we are.
Mick. You got
Absolutely.
it. You nailed it.
I agree.
You nailed it.
I
That's
totally
what she
agree, Mick.
wanted. Positive, negative, talk about
I
Doesn't
me.
don't
matter.
care.
I don't
talk
care.
about me, yeah.
But you know what? Some people.
Because I didn't know a dang thing about this girl until last year, and then now she's everywhere, and I'm like, well, I know who she is now, but it's like I didn't know anything about her.
You know what, Mick? Some people can do that, and that's how they build their platform. But I'm not going to do that.
Evil.
I'll
Yeah.
jump on an issue when it happens because people like to hear what my perception is.
Yeah,
But I'm not
I
going to.
think the longevity of that, though, like
Is
we'll
short-lived.
see, is short-lived.
Yeah,
like
for
I
sure.
feel like she's trying to ride so high in this moment, but there are going to be so many people that all of a sudden it's like you see through that, and it's not something. It's not likable, so it's not something that's going to transcend through years and years of her. Like after Charlie Kirk, then what? Then what is she going to do?
Well,
It's just like.
And let me tell her this. If there is some kind of cover up, it's going to remain covered up.
Yeah.
It's just like the Kennedy
And she
cover
knows
up.
that.
It's like
I
it's
mean,
going to
what
remain
about-
covered up.
What about the Trump shooting? It was almost like, okay, it happened. Then it was like, who did it? Then it was on, and then it was gone. And then no one ever talked about it again. And that was our president. So
Yeah.
you think that they're going to like really expose what happened to Charlie
not gonna
Kirk? They're
expose
not even
anything.
exposing what happened to Trump.
And was Charlie
she's
Kirk
not gonna
Martin
say-
Luther King? I mean, my goodness. I mean, he was an incredible figure and he did amazing things. But you're looking at him like he was like, oh, all this conspiracy. We had Egypt planes and we had phones from Israel. Like,
And
it's Charlie Kirk.
Here's my question here. If the theory out there let's present the theory that Israel had something to do with this because Charlie was about to turn against Israel.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what they're saying.
Like 100 million other people
Exactly.
turned against Israel.
Yeah.
What's the difference in Israel that Charlie Kirk is going to make?
Zero.
I mean, is he that important a figure?
Well,
And
they
the
thought
fact
he
he was
would
like
turn the
losing
young
support
people.
or something
Yeah.
because he was talking about Israel and
I mean,
people were
come
like
on.
pulling out their backings and all this stuff. It's like, again,
mean-
yes, like what he did make an impact, but I mean,
Is he gonna take
nationally
Israel
and yeah, but
down?
is he gonna like globally? Was he gonna?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just
Look, Israel's had a lot more to deal with than Charlie Kirk.
Yeah,
if
that's
Charlie
for
Kirk
sure.
were to start questioning Israel. But and that's another subject, Mick, to get into a little bit, and that we bring it up. There is it's almost like people think Israel controls the world.
Oh, God.
Controls the world.
A lot
now.
of people believe that, for
everything
sure.
that goes on, it's Israel. They start it, they control it, they have influence over everything. They control Trump, it's just too much for me to buy into.
yeah.
They don't control China, they don't control Russia, they don't control the United States. I think some of the problem is, I have to say this, in defense of Israel, is that there are so many prominent, wealthy, educated, successful Jewish people
Yeah.
100.
that do have an impact.
They do. Yeah.
I mean, look, they built Hollywood. They have an impact. There's no question about it. But now they're taking it to the extent where they control the world. They control the United States. They don't control the United States. They don't
Yeah.
control Donald Trump. I don't believe that. I haven't seen evidence of that. A lot of people point fingers at people, and I don't like to do that unless we see evidence of it. And I don't see it. I really don't. And I've looked into it because I'm hearing so much of it. I don't see it. And, people who disagree because there's so much anti-Semitism out there.
Well, they're calling Candace an anti-Semite.
Well, she is anti-Semite now. No question. She
Yeah.
is an anti-Semite. Let me say that again, editors. She is an anti-Semite now. There's no question.
Yeah.
She's spoken out against Israel. She's implicated Israel in Charlie Kirk's murder. She's saying Israel is controlling Donald Trump in the United States. She's brought it out.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the same thing. You're never going anywhere with this. If that is a fact and we don't know it, but if this is what you believe, you're not going anywhere with it.
Yeah.
I know, but it's okay to question.
Absolutely.
It's okay to say, why are we doing this? Why are we buying into
Absolutely.
this? Why is Israel doing this? It's okay to question. We're Americans. Why can we not?
I agree
We
with you.
support them 100% wholeheartedly. We can question when we think something is not right here, something is wrong. Maybe we don't agree with what's going on here and there and there. It's okay to question that. It's okay.
And it's like I said, Cam, people
so
disagree with the
serious.
fact that Israel are God's chosen people. You can't disagree with it because it's biblical. It's stated factually every single place. It's absolutely biblical.
But you also said, yes.
However, let me finish.
Yes.
It doesn't mean Israel right
At
or
any
wrong.
cost.
God has punished Israel many times. Many times
Yeah.
throughout history. It's biblical. It's there many times.
Yes.
So it's not Israel right or wrong. It's not Jewish people right or wrong. But to deny that the Jews were God's chosen people is you can't deny that. And I heard Candace once say, well, yeah, Epstein was God's chosen people. That was such a silly comparison, a silly analogy to make. It doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
You're
Yeah,
judging
she
a
said that.
perfect God by his imperfect people. I mean,
Exactly.
come on. We all fall short of God's, grace and what we're supposed to be as believers.
But also, like, okay, just kind of shifting the conversation a little bit. So she claims to be a Christian or
She's Catholic.
Catholic now. She
Catholic.
went back and forth, whatever. Like you said, we believe the same things. In my opinion, so yes, I'm trying now more to be up and up on the world's situation and the views and what's going on and all of that. But at the same time, it's like Jonathan said today, we know how the story ends, right?
Yes.
We know ultimately how the story is going to end. So as crazy as the world is starting to get, all the things that are lining up for what we know as the rapture and the end times, if you truly subscribe to that and you truly believe that and you truly know that no one else can tell us what the story is going to be, why do all these, why does she care? Why do all these other things matter? I guess what I'm saying is why, I guess, yes, it is. We are living in the real world and we can't just be like, oh, whatever, I'm going to heaven one day. I don't care what's happening, because it is scary at times. Mm-hmm. But I guess what I'm trying to say is in a roundabout way is why does it really matter all of these things that are happening, and trying to figure out why and figure out how and figure out who is behind it, when at the end of the day, we know that God has a plan and we know how it ends. If you really are a Christian. If you're not and you're wondering and you want to go down the conspiracies and you want to go down all the rabbit holes and you want to figure out why this and that, but if you truly are, why do any of those other things matter? And maybe I'm asking you because that's my stance, is I don't truly care about all of that, because I know ultimately where I'm going to go. You don't see Kathy and Greg talking about these kind of things.
And that's our pastor and his wife.
Yeah,
Yes.
you don't see them, and they might feel these things, or they might, but they're not, they have such a huge platform. You don't see them talking about these kind of things.
Yeah, I understand where you're going.
Because I know you're probably somewhere in the middle of where I'm talking, what I'm saying, and what their stance and my position. I feel like you're somewhere in the middle, so I'm asking.
Yeah, because as Christians, if there is an untruth being spread,
Yeah.
and we can educate people and let them understand this is not true, it's all in an effort to bring people to the truth. And as we know, the truth is Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So we don't want to sit back when evil is permeating through the world. If we have a voice and a platform, we should make it known. It's the same thing, Mick. Every time I come up and speak and give my testimony, I tell them straight out, I'm not here to turn you into a Christian. I'm not here to impose my faith on you, but I'm obligated to share my faith with you. That was Jesus' last command.
Yeah.
Mark 16:15, go out and preach, share the good word, which is the gospel, with all of creation. But we are obligated to have a voice,
Yeah.
but not an angry voice, not a gotcha voice, not a, believe me or you're going to die voice.
Right.
We just do it the way Jesus did it. It's with a gentle spirit, like Mom has said.
And
But-
it's not in an extremist kind of way. I think
You're
that's
right.
my point is I don't know what her goal is. I don't know what the end game for her is, but I don't think it's to lead people to Jesus.
It's
and
not,
I don't and
for
whether
sure.
and if that's your core belief and that's who you are as a person and that's what drew people to you in the beginning because you're a woman coming into politics and you're speaking all this truth and now all of a sudden it's like there's so much confusion in your truth, which there should never be
Confusion. Ever.
And
Ever.
so the confusion,
It's
as
her.
we know, is from the devil. The confusion that comes in,
The
that's like,
enemy.
oh wait, okay, so wait, she is a Christian, but she's saying this, so like maybe I do align with her, and then all of a sudden you stop thinking about Jesus, you start thinking about, okay, what is Candace Owens saying today, instead of what is God telling me today? Just I don't know. I feel like if you have that platform, what is your end game? Because she's coming in such a way that is so polar. It's polarized. It's like you're
Yes.
either way over here, like she's crazy, or I'm all in. Tell me everything.
You're
there's
right.
no,
there's no middle
There's no
ground.
middle ground.
and that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
No, and she's like, oh, who can I go at today? Like, gotcha. Like, she's not coming at you saying, you know what, guys, by the grace of God, we're going to get you the truth because I love Erika and I love Charlie and I want to get you the truth. And I don't know what happened, but I'm coming in. She's just coming at like, ooh, who can we catch today? And I'm coming at you and I want to fight with you. And I'm declaring war on everybody. And she's like, ha, ha, ha. And you look at her and she's watching videos of other people talk about her. And she's like, woohoo, yay.
Yeah.
Like, it's so incredibly like, oh my God, Candace. And I know a lot of young Christian women that I am in contact with who text me when I was like saying, do not believe everything that you are seeing. Just try to pray for discernment. And now they're coming to me and they're saying, I can't watch her anymore. She's so toxic. Like, she doesn't make me feel like it's coming from a godly place or a place of love and concern. Like, okay, so now I'm the number one podcast. Like, now they're starting to say, okay, I don't know what her motive is.
Is that the motivation?
Well, I mean, she
Yes.
gained 1 million viewers on her YouTube after that.
Yeah.
The prime minister
that's
accusation of his
that's
wife.
her goal.
Yes. Going after the most provocative stories out there and creating what she's created. I mean, look, like she has freedom of thought and expression, so do we.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility? We have to say yes. Why not?
Yeah.
She may attack you for it, but the way you're attacking people, we can have the same kind of thought. What's your motivation in all of this? Why are you coming out so strongly?
Right.
Yeah.
What's your end
And
game?
why is Erika not thinking the same thing? Give me an answer to that. Oh, well, maybe Erika's involved. I mean, what are you going to say?
Why is Erika not saying, my dear friend Candace, who loves Charlie and
Yes.
she loved me, listen to her. She wants the best for us. No, what did she say? Please, my friends, give grace to the people that were there. Give them grace for what they witnessed. In other words, Candace, give them grace until you know what really happened. 6 months from now, you want to attack everybody and come at them like the enemy. Gotcha, girl. That's your goal. But give them a little grace because right now we're all trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah, and let me say this. Right now, as we sit here, we're not buying into everything that we've seen
No,
from the
we're
government
not.
at this point. No way. I'm the first one not to buy into what the government says immediately. Even though I have to say this. I know Dan Bongino. He's a guy with a lot of intellect and integrity. And he's the deputy director of the FBI. I like Dan a lot. I know he's a man of integrity. But sometimes even they can be told to keep quiet.
Yeah.
They don't run the government. They don't run everything. Hey, just keep quiet.
The
So
prob-
we never know.
Yeah. The problem is you see all these shows about the government and about like, I don't know, just like House of Cards and just shows like that. And you're
Yeah.
like, this might be a show, but where are they getting this from? And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, come
this
on, man.
this is real life. Like this is scary, right? Because you're seeing all the corruption. And I mean, corruption is a part of humanity. So we know that exists. Like, but to see the lengths that people go, or like when there's like a family shows where it's like the family is so deep, like they'll do anything to get their family out of this. Families with money. Like, I am not saying that this is a total like wash of like, this is exactly what happened, A, B, C, D, and there's no questioning after that. But again, it's like, how far do you want to go to speculate everything when it's a tragedy no matter what? It's like, let it be a tragedy. Let's mourn the actual situation. Let's let Erika, her family, the people close to him, all the people in Turning Point, let's let them just grieve and let's celebrate his life. And then, like Mom said, maybe a few months down the road. But yeah, it's hard, I think, because I said there are these shows and you see it in a show and you're like, this is not coming from thin air. Like, these are things that probably happen, things that are covered up. The mob covered up stuff. Why wouldn't the government cover up stuff? You know, it's like, we know that that's a reality,
100%.
but to what extent?
Listen, 100%. I know for a fact as I sit here that there was a huge cover up with the JFK assassination.
Yeah.
I know for a fact right now, even though I respect this administration, there is a cover up with Epstein. There's no doubt in my mind. I believe 100% he didn't commit suicide. The evidence is the circumstantial evidence surrounding that shows that he did not commit suicide, aside from the fact that I was in that exact cell block and I know he couldn't have done it. That's number one. Number two, there's a lot of wealthy people and people in power involved in that with Epstein. They don't want it to come out. The Biden administration investigated, nothing came out. Trump's administration, nothing came out. There are forces there at work that are saying, we don't want to let this come out. I believe that. So for Candace to believe that she's going to expose what happened with Charlie Kirk,
and she's
naive.
She's the
naive.
only savior in the Charlie Kirk
That's what she said.
situation. It's only me, as if nobody cared. I'm like, give me a break, Candace. You weren't invited to the funeral. You weren't invited to speak. Tucker Carlson, who everybody thinks is like lost his mind and, you know, maybe has, maybe hasn't. But he was invited.
Said she was invited.
Oh, she was not invited. She was not invited. Trust me.
She said, "For my safety, I didn't want to."
What's her safety? I don't believe that for a minute.
The president was there.
I'm sorry, I don't believe
The
that.
president was there, but you're worried about your safety, Candace. Stop.
I do not believe that.
I'm worried
I'm
about
sorry,
my
Candace.
safety, too.
I do not believe that you were invited. You would have been there. The same way you
Oh my
platformed, you
God.
would have
A
been.
platform for you to speak? She'd be like,
Absolutely.
sign me up. Let me go. All she cares about is like, you know, I don't even know.
Well, listen, whatever it is. I can say this, Candace. If your plan was to get clicks and views, you did a great job.
That's
Great
what I
job.
said.
Keep it up.
Congratulations, Candace.
Keep
You
it up.
did it.
You did a great
You
job.
exploited the
Clickbait.
death of your best friend, and you exploited it the way you wanted to, and you achieved your goal.
Yes.
Congratulations, if that's what you
You've
wanted.
been a master at getting the views. You are.
Even
the
Joe
number one
Rogan said,
podcast.
"Oh, you
Kudos
can't
to that.
stop her. Like she is like, I don't even know what
It's
he
like
said."
you start thinking, it's like, okay, so, and she's like going through it, and I'm just like, what?
What?
It's just like one thing after another, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like if she had like two good things, you'd be like, okay, those things are like pretty
Yeah.
good, and she
Yeah.
really investigated them. She has like 79 good things and all these weird, and I'm like, all of a sudden, 2 days after, you have all the evidence
Yes.
when the whole like everyone's trying to figure this out, but Candace was able to get all the evidence
And like this.
See and what my favorite thing is that she says is, I have it, but I can't share my
Exactly.
source yet. And I'm like, how many times are you gonna
You
say that? And then
yeah.
she would be on her thing and she'd be like, guys, it's coming later. Give me 2 hours
it
and
never
I'm gonna share
comes.
everything. I'm gonna show you. One time she went dark for like 2 days,
Yeah,
and
she went on
everybody,
vacation.
all her people were
Yeah.
like, has anyone checked on Candace?
Oh, no,
This was probably part of her plan.
She went on vacation.
People that don't even know
Yeah.
her, has anyone checked on Candace Owens? She hasn't posted in 2 days. Like, this was part of her plan, right?
You know
Let
what?
me go dark. Let me have everybody clickbaiting, worrying about me,
Yes.
texting about me, posting about me. Someone needs to check on Candace Owens because she has all the evidence and now she's gone, as if someone like took
Yes,
care of her
of
or
course.
something. It's like,
She went
the
on.
heck is
She
happening?
went on vacay, and she's sitting back. She's like, "Oh, look at all these people that worried about me."
I really
She went on
think that's
vacation.
that's
She needed a
crazy.
break. She needed a break, and then she came back. and
we needed a break too, so thank you.
Oh yeah, she did. She went on vacay. So you know what? Whatever.
Well,
but
listen, more power to her. If this is what.
no,
They
not
don't
no,
understand.
You know what- you know
not
what I
power
mean.
to her,
You know what I
Candace.
mean.
No,
They don't
I'm
know
sorry.
you.
If this
no.
is what she feels she needs to do for
No,
herself.
you know what? Here's what I
Right.
say. You reap what you sow, Candace Owens. You will reap what you sow. And if you think what you're doing is coming from the goodness of your heart, for the love of Charlie and the love of Erika and her children, then by all means, Miss Candace, but you will reap what you sow. I am sorry. So let's get back to what we're talking about is
Get back. We've been talking about this for 45 minutes.
we're gonna wrap it
What are we
up
getting
with
back
the
to?
purpose of being in Utah and what we're going to
Yes.
do there.
Well, yeah, let's get into that a little bit. And I don't know if people are familiar with the.
Yeah. I said that.
Okay.
Sorry, hubby.
I don't know if people are familiar with Greg Laurie's Harvest Crusades. Maybe we can show a little video on that, what they've been over the last 30 years. But
50.
no. It's
The
30.
church is 50. The
The
harvest
church
is 30.
The
Okay.
crusade. You know, it's
30.
funny. The crusade started in the early 90s, just when I found out who Greg Laurie was.
I was going to those
You were
with
going
Aunt
to them.
Sabrina, actually. So my Aunt Sabrina, we lived in LA, and most of mom's family lived in Orange County. And I remember going to the Harvest Crusades at Mom, how old were we? 10, 11,
10,
12.
11.
We were
Yep.
young.
You were young.
We were young. That was the first time I ever went was with Aunt Sabrina. She took me and Manda. She sent me a photo the other day. It was so hilarious. Me and Manda so young.
Oh, send me that photo.
We went down to the field. We accepted Christ. Crystal Lewis, I don't know if you know.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
love
course.
Crystal.
Crystal Lewis was playing back
Mhm.
then, and she was now we look forward to Phil Wickham and Chris Tomlin.
Yes.
Crystal Lewis was like the highlight of everyone. I had all her CDs. She was incredible. I think she actually lives in Orange County.
She
Yeah,
does.
And one of
did.
my friends or someone I knew trained her actually in her home. Small world, but she was incredible. The Harvest Crusades have always been incredible. They get better and better every year. But yeah, I remember going as
And the main
a
thing
child.
is that so many people come to the Lord. I mean,
Yeah.
several 100,000. I think close to 1 million people have come to the Lord during these crusades. People
Yeah.
are so uplifted. I had the privilege and the blessing to speak there a couple of times. But this year we're going to be doing a live broadcast so that everybody can see it
from your YouTube.
from my YouTube and my Rumble platform, and maybe from Instagram, and if we can technically if we can get it all together. But definitely YouTube and Rumble.
Maybe Girl
Yeah.
Bye will go live too.
Joe Bye will be on with
Oh,
me,
yeah.
of course. We're all going to do it, you know.
So
Amanda
Dad will
won't
be
be
there
again,
But you'll be there.
I'll
Because
be
Amanda's
there.
a mom. But Liv's
I know.
coming.
Liv is
Yeah.
coming. My sister's daughter, my
No,
niece,
it's
Liv will
going to
be
be
there.
great, and I think they really need it. And you know, the great thing about this is that obviously that's a highly Mormon population,
Yeah.
but they want us. They
They
want to
do.
bring it. They said they need hope and encouragement there. So
They do.
It's going to be great. a
COVID
great
hit them
evening.
very hard, and you can understand that. Well, I didn't really even know anything about it until my husband and I went to the informational meeting because we knew we wanted to go. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to do it, but COVID hit them really hard because the Mormon church is very old school, right? Like
Yeah.
the churches, or they call them oh shoot, what is the word? It's not a I'm blanking on the word, but it's basically their church. They all have them in their neighborhood, so they walk. They walk to the church. They all have their own little church. It has a name. I'm blanking right now. And they all have their church that they go to. It's very community oriented, but they don't have streaming. You can't watch it from home.
Right.
Like everything it's very old school. It's there. They don't even have TVs in the church. It's just very...
And a lot of Mormons will be attending this crusade.
Right. And so when COVID happened and everything shut down and you weren't allowed to go anywhere, they were like, what do we do? Some of them were saying, this is great. I don't have to be a perfect person for the however long until my church opens up again, because their church is very based on works, not just faith alone. You
grace.
have to be you have to be a great person, a perfect person. You have to do all these things to get to heaven. So it was almost like a break for them. Some of them were like, I don't want to go back. Some of them were like, I miss God. I miss church. So they asked their Christian friends who they knew had streaming platforms, can I watch your church at home? Oh yeah, here's my thing. Log in. You can go watch my church. They started watching other churches. And then as things started to open up, they started going to those other churches that were opening up before the Mormon churches. And there's been a whole shift ever since then. And they say that it takes about 5 years. You don't wake up tomorrow and say, I want to be Jewish, right? There's a thing that works through you, a transformation process, a questioning process, stray away from your church process, looking, okay, what's next for me? They say that takes about 5 years, and it's 2025. So it's 5 years since COVID. And that's when people started to, question their Mormonism. And now that's why the Utah churches reached out to Greg, and they were like, it's now. We got to do it now.
They're like,
and
what do you
that's
mean I don't have to do all these things to be good?
And
I
that's
can
why they were
just,
like 6 weeks. Like, we got to do it now. It's the 5-year mark. They're hungry. They want it. They need it. Like, and then the Charlie Kirk thing happened.
God's time.
I can say
what
this.
The enemy meant for bad, God will use for good.
I think it's good for people to understand this. Talking about Candace going from Christian, I'm not going to say Protestantism, Christian to Catholic. I was in Boston, Massachusetts, and I was speaking at a Catholic men's group. There's about 2,000 men there. All the priests were sitting in front of me. And they knew, because during my testimony, I was once a Catholic and then started practicing as a Christian. When I say practicing as a Christian, it's because we both believe in Jesus Christ as our Savior. We have to confess our sins and accept Him in that regard. So that's the central belief of Christians.
Yeah.
Catholics are Christians also. So let's put that. But when I was finished speaking, I was in the middle of all the priests, and they were questioning me, and they were saying, Michael, it was about 10 of them. Why did you leave Catholicism? And they were trying to, for 15 minutes, I let them speak, and trying to bring me back to Catholicism. And I said, can I explain the difference between Catholicism and Christianity to you? And they said, yeah. I said, okay. I told one priest, I said, let's make believe we both die on the same day, and we go up to heaven together. We're both going there. You for sure, me, I'm pretty sure too. I said, we get to the pearly gates and St. Peter is standing in the front. That's what you believe, right? They said, yes. Okay, I'm going to give you that one, St. Peter. I said, when the pearly gates open, there's thousands, millions of people there. St. Thomas, St. Michael, St. Anne, St. Maria, everything. I said, you're going to be on the way, this path. You're going to be shaking hands with everybody. I said, I'm going straight to Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
I said, that's the difference. There's nobody between our Savior and us.
Yeah.
Nobody. I said, Catholicism has a lot of rules and a lot of policies. Christianity is relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
Relationship. And that's why when people have asked me, oh, Michael, it's so hard to be a Christian. I said, no, you have the wrong idea. You think that once you become a Christian, oh my God, I have to sit down, look at the 10 Commandments and figure out how I'm going to keep every one of them. I said, it's not about that. It's about developing a relationship with Jesus, because He's the one that transforms you from the inside out and gives you less of a desire and more of a conscience about doing things that you shouldn't be doing. And that's what we're saying. So again, getting back to Candace, to convert, I don't know if that's the right word, to transfer, let's say, from Christianity to Catholicism, okay, but don't knock Christianity as a result. Don't say there's a possibility that it's evil because we have so many denominations.
No, she told Charlie that
That's
you're too smart to be a Christian.
Yeah.
You're too smart. What does that mean? Like, in other words, you're smarter than Charlie because you converted to Catholicism. You converted to Catholicism because your husband, who's worth $1 gazillion, is a Catholic, and he said, you need to convert to Catholicism, and then you said, okay, I'm converting.
Told her something.
And then you're going to knock, because who is he? Where is he? You could ask, certain people who he was, and they'll tell you.
You know what she's doing? She's doing the exact opposite of what Charlie Kirk did.
100%.
Charlie Kirk
was
tried
kind
to debate and bring his point of view in a way that you can understand. He didn't knock you. He didn't say. He tried to bring the conversation to you in a way that you could understand.
She's doing the opposite.
But what she's doing is insulting everything that doesn't
100%.
agree with her.
100%.
And attacking everything that doesn't agree with her.
Maybe her husband told her to do that.
I could tell you to do something you're not going to necessarily do it.
I know, but you know what? She converted for him, so she might do whatever he wants her to do.
$1 she would.
He's worth $1 gazillion.
Maybe
Your
Dad
mom would not.
had $1 gazillion.
I don't care how much money Dad had. He can't convince me to do anything I don't want to do.
If you have $1 gazillion.
No.
No, I'll be like,
Webb knows I ain't going to be doing anything he says.
No, you're not going to be doing it. But
But
anyway, let's put a lid on the whole Candace thing.
Really?
Go ahead.
The lid on the lid is on the Candace thing for me. Right. The lid's on. I'm out. If you have another lid to put on. But I just wanted to say one more thing about the difference what you were saying about how there's nobody between you and Jesus when in your relationship. Catholics are going to go and talk to all the saints. With the LDS Church, because that's what we're going to do next week, they believe works and faith,
Yes.
right? They have to be perfect. They have to do all these things. Most of them are working in their church, doing something for their church. They have to, like, that's the only way. They have to be a leader in the church. They have to do some kind of service for pretty much their entire time while they're in the church. So what a crazy story they told us was that there was like a 7-year-old woman who couldn't have been, she was like the best of the best. Like, she did everything. She was volunteering constantly. She gave her time to the church. She worked all the time in the church. And that when COVID happened and she came to one of the Christian churches, she said, I heard Jesus' name and I saw the conviction when you guys were singing this in one worship song. She heard Jesus' name more in one worship song than like 70 years of being in the Mormon church and doing everything she could have done right to get herself to heaven, right? And she said, I never felt worthy in my own church doing everything I could possibly do to get there than I did in the one service that I sat in here with you guys. And she stayed after and she asked a million questions. And she just said, I could not believe that in one service I felt more worthy of going to heaven than I did in all my years of doing all the works that I'm supposed to do. But could you imagine, like, knowing how we are as humans, knowing our sinful nature, that you have to be almost perfect to get to heaven? You have to work your way to heaven. You have to work your way to heaven. Like, none of us would get there.
Never.
We wouldn't.
No.
So the fact that they still think that they can get there on their works by
It's
like
sad.
volunteering and doing, being the best, not drinking, not doing, not being sinful, because we're all sinful. Like, every single one of them that thinks they're perfect and doing everything they could to get to their heaven is still not even close to perfection, right? Which is what they think you need to be to get there.
Never.
And it's actually heartbreaking. It actually makes me very sad that they believe that that's their only way.
Yeah.
Grace.
That they have to devote their life to work for the
They
church.
don't believe in grace. They don't believe that grace. That Jesus' blood can get them to heaven, and that is it. They don't need to do anything
But what you're
else.
saying, what God is saying to you is like, are you kidding me? Was my death on the cross not enough for your sin?
Jesus the way we do.
Well, they don't, because they've been taught differently, and I don't want to knock them, because if you imagine, like, me and Dad taught you guys when you were younger about Jesus and the grace of God and Christianity and faith and grace. That's what you know. That's what they were taught as little boo-boos. They were taught that they have to work, they have to be good, they have to do all these things. So you can't blame them, because that's what they know. But you know what the Bible says, every tongue shall confess and every knee shall bend. Like, God will reach them at the end of the day, and they will have that opportunity to confess that Jesus is Lord. But you can't say, like, like, my house is full of dancers and athletes, and that next door is full of doctors and lawyers. That's what you're taught. That's what you know. So you got to just pray for them that the grace of God infiltrates their heart and speaks to them in a way where they say, aha. And during COVID, what the enemy meant for bad, God was going to use for good. That's what I'm
saying. Like, can you, like, just in COVID, no one was thinking, oh, this is one day, this is going to really show God's glory and all this stuff. And now when they were telling us the story, it's like, wow, like, isolation, which everybody was like so afraid of and it's scared, that's when God started to work in people's hearts. Yes. And it's like, again, what Mom is saying, what the enemy meant for bad, God will take for good. And it just blows my mind, because I think right now, okay, what am I suffering through? What am I struggling with? In 5 years from now, what is going to be like my amazing story? Because that's how God works. We want it tomorrow. We want it now. I've been praying for this for 2 years. Well, you think that's long 40 years in the desert, that's
Exactly.
long. It's
Well,
like
whoop-de-doo.
you read the Bible,
They
the
wandered
stories in
40
the Bible.
years,
Well,
yes.
Abraham
Yeah,
and Sarah had to be 90 years old to have a baby,
Exactly,
and I'm like,
baby.
Lord, please don't make me
Yeah.
wait till I'm 90. But
yeah,
like
but another thing
40
is, Mick,
something, I'll take.
another thing is sometimes when God doesn't answer your immediate prayer, He knows what's best for you.
Yeah, that's
So
what
by
I'm
not
saying.
answering your prayer at
He's
that
answering
time,
it.
1000%.
he's answering it.
No, I know.
Not answering my prayer for a child this year, I know now, even only a few months out of this, not even out of this year, but even a few months out of where we wanted to have that child so bad. Honestly, I've said to my husband, thank God. He knew we were not ready and suited for this right now. I want to have like I still don't know what's going to happen, but I want to have somewhat of a pregnancy where I'm feeling happy and blessed and ready and not like, oh my gosh, this is like the worst time for us. Like, what were we thinking? And that's what happens when we take things into our own hands and we try to, be better than God's plan. And now I know every time God has not answered my prayer, literally every time, it has been His protection. And it's really hard in the moment to see that. But the older I get and the more times I see that happen, the more like, okay, like I'm going to be okay. God's got me. He's got a plan. And you know what? It might not ever be what I think His plan is for me still, but whatever it is, it's going to be better than what I think I need right now or ever.
No doubt. Well, let me tell you, my position on religion, and I hate that word because it's a divisive word. It's a word that sparks controversy, but I don't knock anybody else's faith.
No,
Unless
you
you're a
can't.
Satanist. If you're a Satanist and you worship evil, I will knock you. But other than that, I don't knock anybody else's religion. I don't agree with them because I believe Christianity is the only true religion. And I believe that for many reasons. But I think we, as Christians, we're supposed to pray for those people and hope that they come to the Lord. And there's a gracious way of doing it. And I think that's what we as a family try to do anyway. But, just going back to Candace one more time. Candace, I'm going to give you this. You can go to worship God as a Catholic. That's fine.
Yeah.
But don't knock Christians because you're not a Christian anymore.
Or Protestants.
It's
or
not
whoever it
Yeah,
is.
Protestants.
Don't
and
knock
let me tell you,
anyone.
because there are a lot of denominations in Protestantism, as you call it, that doesn't mean that evil is going to seep into it. All right? I know from experience. I've been to over 1,500 churches in the last 25 years, and I've spoken to many, many people. And there's no evil in the church that I can see. There's sin in the church like there is in everything else.
Oh, yeah.
No question.
In the Catholic
No
Church,
question.
there might be a little sin,
But there's no
Candace.
evil the way you describe it.
No.
Because there are denominations. That's
But
not the
beyond
intent.
that, the craziest thing is that I know you said religion. You don't like to talk about religion because
No, I
it
don't
is
like
divisive.
I don't
or
like
use
that
the word religion.
Yes.
But not even that. Like even a step further is just to even sit back and think that every single person, if you truly are a Christian and you really believe what the Bible says, every single person is made in God's image. Every single person is loved by God. The person you hate, the person that hurts you, the person that sins against you, the person that comes after you, the person that attacks you, persecutes you, whatever, like everybody was made in God's image and everybody is loved by God. And if God had a say, every single person would go to heaven, but we have free will. So that is also like to hate on your enemy. No, we're not supposed to hate on our enemy. We're supposed to love our enemy. And that is a very hard thing.
Very hard.
Very hard thing to do. So to just be someone that has a platform and to just spew
So
hate
hateful.
or negativity or anything on any other kind of person that doesn't fall in line with what you think is right is just wrong. And
Yes. And
it's not always the easy stance to take, but it's the truth.
Mick, I'm going to express something to you, and this is not a popular statement, but because I saw what I believe to be the destructiveness of Joe Biden in so many different ways, because I felt he was destroying my country, I had to go to bed at night and pray not to hate Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And I realized that I don't wish this guy. We should not wish our worst enemy to go to hell.
No.
Because hell is eternal. We can't even, I tell people all the time when I speak, think of the worst thing that ever happened to you in your life.
Yeah.
Or the worst thing that could ever happen to you in
And
your
it's
life. Think of it being a
1,000
million
times
times worse, but
worse.
never
Yeah.
ending.
Never ending. Oh, never.
Does anybody really deserve that?
No.
No. So what our obligation is to pray for that person, that they repent and come to the Lord. Because if they repent, they'll be a better person. They won't be doing the things that they did before. But we as humans, we have a tendency to be angry with people. And so we have to catch ourselves. But that's what true Christians do. They don't come out and spew their hate all over everybody, or their anger,
and what I heard
or their gotchas.
very recently, which was like, whoa. And I didn't really like take this stance or know this, but I don't know if Jonathan or Greg said it, but it was like, you don't wish something or don't think negative things on your enemy, or don't think like, oh, I can't wait till they get what they deserve, because that will actually shift. Once you want something negative or hateful towards your enemy, God will actually not come after you, but it will not end up the way that you think it will, and they're not going to get what they deserve. So it's like, now sometimes when my husband's like, oh, I can't with that person, I'm like, babe, we love them. We don't like them right now because they're treating us a certain way, but we cannot I don't wish harm on anyone.
Yeah, we don't have to like them.
What?
We don't have to like them. You're right.
No, we don't have to like them. And like Mom said, the world, and I don't want to say the universe because I know that sounds like new age, whatever. It's like God, and just life has a way of righting its wrongs.
That's
and
right.
then things will come back.
You reap what you sow.
How they come back, and we don't need to worry about it. Like,
Right.
we can release that. We can release that anger. We can release those feelings because we are not in control. And we think right now people are getting away with what they're getting away with, and the bad people win, and why are they winning and I'm suffering? And it's like, we need to take heart in knowing that won't be the end. That won't be how it ends. That's not how the story ends. And we don't need to worry about the rest. We just, it's like, God, just help me in this time. I don't care what happens to them. Just help me get through it.
No,
and that's
you're right.
really hard to do.
It is very
But we
hard to
have
do
to
because
do
we're
that.
human and we have different emotions. But, I just caution people and encourage people, and this conversation has shifted in a way towards this. But, people that not Christianity, normally they're the people that never looked into it. They haven't researched it. They haven't done the work. I said some of the best years of my life were the times I spent in solitary confinement, because had I not, I would have never looked through my faith and seen how real it was.
Yeah.
So I just caution people, before you knock it, look into it. I mean, I get a lot of comments on social media, God is a figment of everybody's imagination. And those people are just ignorant. And I don't mean ignorant in a demeaning way, ignorant that they don't know. And they should search, because their eternal life is at risk, at real risk.
There's history. There's documents, the
There's
historical
everything,
value
everything.
of it,
It's
but they don't,
There's so much corroboration to Scripture that people that don't look into it are only kidding themselves.
Yeah.
And they're putting their eternal life at risk.
All right.
So, Candace, be nice. That's all I can tell you.
Be gentle, be
nice,
humble, be kind,
gentle,
be loving.
No, listen, continue your, if you
Be
believe.
Proverbs 31 woman that you claim to be, Candace.
I'm not as rough on you as my wife, but she's
'Cause I'm a
woman
female.
to woman, she can do that. But here's what I
Exactly.
am telling you. Just approach it with a gentle spirit. If you think that there is this big conspiracy behind Charlie Kirk and you want to search, continue. By all means,
Pray
you have
about
every right
it.
to do that. Do it. Do your investigation. Do whatever you got to do. But let me tell you, as somebody with a little more experience, probably twice your age, if the government is covering up, you're not going to find out. Trust me. Go back to JFK, go back to Martin Luther King, go back to Epstein. You're not going to find out. But keep searching. It's okay. Just do it. Just be a little gentle. You don't like Macron? Okay, whatever. But, it's their marriage. Fortunately, they're not
But
in your
what
bedroom.
is the
and you're not in your-
purpose?
But I'm saying, they're not in
We're
your
wrapping
bedroom.
up, Mom.
Yeah, they're not in your bedroom, so don't worry about that.
Peace
Whatever.
out.
You don't like them right now, it's okay. But all we're telling you is continue your success and do whatever you got to do. Just be a little nicer if you can.
Okay, Mick,
That's
wrap it up.
that's my 2 cents worth, Candace. I'll leave it at that. Go, Mick. This is yours.
Go, Mick.
Because
I know
I wrap up a little
this isn't
differently
our
than
normal
you.
content,
It was
but
great.
we, sometimes Amanda and I think our goal is to take you away from the craziness of the world, and that's ultimately our goal. We have had to, there's been so many crazy things that have happened since we started this episode, and I don't think that's by chance, but we have had to dive into these things here and there because we're not going to just sit here and be ignorant and ignore what's going on in the world. But at the same time, we like to take you guys away from that normally and kind of laugh. And, my sister is just the best. She's hilarious. We're sad she's not here today, but it's also amazing to have these conversations with my dad because these are not things that I would normally talk about. And sometimes I feel a little insecure talking about them because I don't like to talk about what I don't know about. So everything I have said, I know what I'm saying. I have researched it. I have witnessed it myself firsthand. But yeah, it helps to have, someone who's very rehearsed in these things and knows what he's doing to guide me along the way. But as always, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe. Next time, Amanda will be back and we will probably come in with some more lighthearted stuff for you guys. And we were thinking about maybe talking about dating. We did a little bit of that last time, but we want to just go into, a little bit more fun stories on that side. If you guys have anything, again, that you want us to talk about, please let us know. We love your comments. We appreciate all your support. You guys have been amazing. You have so many good things to say. And I don't know. Is that it, Dad?
That's it. I just want to thank everybody for your help in growing their platform.
Yeah.
I was shocked when they wanted to do this because my kids, I have to
say
say this.
Subscribers we got.
Yeah, I have to say this.
My
my
idea.
kids, they never ran to be in front of the camera.
Never.
No, we
As a matter of fact, I have to tell you this. We've had a number of production companies come to us wanting to do a reality show on the family, and they always said no. Every one of them. From my wife, the girls, my son, forget it. He don't even want to be in front of the camera. So I really I applaud them for that.
This is
because they don't
reality
look it.
enough for us. I
Yeah,
think.
they don't look for
At
it.
the
Maybe
moment.
because of the way they grew up, and we've had a lot of eyes on us, I would say, as a family all the time, and so that can be kind of intrusive. So I was surprised when you guys wanted to do this, but I encourage you to do it because you have a lot of good things to say. My daughter, by the way, is a Pepperdine graduate. Okay, Pepperdine. It's
You
a
said
great
that
university.
Sports med. Sports med.
Yes, and what?
Sports med. She's
Sports medicine.
Yes.
sports med.
And Amanda, San Diego State.
Pre-law.
Pre-law. I mean, she was going to be a cop at one time, which I supported after thinking about it. So they have a lot to say. Amanda's a little bit more abrasive,
The
I
people
would say.
love her, Dad.
They love
the people
her.
love her.
I know. I'm reading some of the comments.
love her.
and I know.
She's
Some
great.
people are proposing to her already.
They are.
Yeah, well,
I know it's only because I'm married that they're not
Yes.
proposing to me.
Yes.
I won't take that to heart.
That's
They
a
had to
true
fire.
love. Babe, when Mick says sign off, you have to do what Manda does, and you have to say girl bye. So Mick, you
Girl
sign.
bye. Now,
Yeah.
that
No,
doesn't sound right
Mike,
coming from
you have to do it.
You have to
Mick?
do it, Dad. You're in her
All right.
position. You're
Okay,
in her
let's go.
Forgive me, people. I'll say it.
Forgive me, people. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you as always, and we'll see you next time on
Girl bye. Oh, it hurt.